started, I wanted to say sorry for my bad English, and to compensate for that, all of my ideas from the script will be appearing on the screen. Thank you. I never thought I would make a whole video addressing the finals, the game I love with my whole heart, which seemed to me to be the perfect game in the best hands when I joined in Season 5. But everyone sees the decline which started at Season 7, and with each season I'm more and more worried about the state of this game. I prayed many times for Embark to come to their senses and had many conversations with my friends about the state of the game, and I thought there is nothing that can be done. And then I saw a video made by Slopo the Clown. His first video, a completely fresh channel, which made a powerful statement seen by 26,000 people at the time I record this. His video inspired many others to record their perspectives on the matter and was noticed by mainstream finals creators. I was genuinely happy to see this occurring, and it made me think about all of this deeply myself, rewatching Slopo's videos many times. And here I am, joining the army, but not in a way I seen anyone join. Everyone, including Slopo, gave commonly known and simple propositions to outline the changes that should occur. And that's what I decided to focus on. After doing some research and small testing, thinking about changes that could occur, I made a whole and complete set of changes, tweaks, and rewards that could be introduced in the melee space of the game. Embark doesn't know what the heck they want to do, so I decided to know for them. In this video, I will propose a lot of changes, describing my approach in few words, giving the set of changes and explaining them spontaneously, finishing the video with some more thoughts. Starting with game mechanics, as a base of the game's function determining what players can do, they do need some changes to ensure the reliability of the environment, solid value for all tools in players' loadout, and free space for creativity. Hitboxes. Improve the general behavior of hitboxes and how they lay on melee weapons. Throwable objects. Improve the speed with which map elements, chairs, plants, etc. can be thrown slightly. Nukes. Instead of explosive, breach charge, C4, gas mines, pyro mines, explosive mines. Rearming. When item on which its place is picked up, explosives deal only 60% of their damage. Red barrel trajectory is affected by physics only when more than one explosive is placed on it. Grenades. Slightly increase the speed with which grenade is armed and thrown. Toxic gas. When ignited by flame, gas vanishes in small, constant explosions, dealing 50 damage. Pyro grenade. Increase the damage dealt by walking through fire and increase burn duration by 1 second. Goo. Improve grenades and barrels reliability to ensure that goo walls will face unintended angle or clip through map less. Changes I pointed out, besides the grenades and toxic gas rework, are commonly known in the community and always should be talked about. I would like to see introduction of changes to toxic gas and grenades because of two simple reasons. First of which is the fact that slowly throwable grenades are very unfortunate in a fast-paced game, making them very hard and awkward to use in the middle of the combat. Second reason is a fact that because of a very wide accessibility of the fire, it is very easy to counter a gas grenade without any penalty, making it unrewarding to use. Moving on to the light class. Changes I am going to propose for this class are supposed to specify its identity more and reasonably change meta. Cloaking device. As Slopo said in his video, melee users can be countered in many various ways, with almost no tools to fight back. Those propositions are aimed at making Cloak more reliable and introduce new mechanic, giving melee users a new useful tool, alongside other ones which will be discussed later. Rename Cloaking Device into Proximity Cache. Proximity Cache allows players not only to become invisible like Cloaking Device allowed them to, but also pass through any traps, sensors, mines, sonars, without activating them. While doing so, data disruption particles Translucent zeros, ones, and shapes in player's team color appear for as long as player stands in trap's detection range. In case of proximity sensor and glitch trap, the data disruption particles appear in a heartbeat pattern, appearing once every second for 0.75 seconds. Replace movement glitches with data disruption particles, appearing once every 1.5 seconds for 0.5 seconds when running and jumping. Data disruption particles produce sound cue which can be heard up from 20 meters. Appearance and the disappearance of the sound cue is synchronized with appearance and disappearance of particles, and is 50% louder than movement glitch sound cue. Decrease cloak max blend to 1.6 from 1.75. Grappling hook. Those changes aim to give this specialization more versatility and new, interesting mechanics which might appeal to melee players. Increase max range to 35 meters from 25. Rework the way grappling hook works. Now using grappling hook only places it in position. In order to be dragged to the point player is hooked to, you need to actively press the move forward key, and to be dragged with max speed you also need to press or toggle sprint key. Horizontal pull works without changes depending on pressing keys responsible for walking sideways. When grappling hook is hooked to the surface, players can break it by walking out of its range, but not by falling, which causes players to hang on it. I know that those propositions can be highly controversial, but I think that the new abilities it would give to players would be really awesome, making it kind of work like a bot lock, but with complete control over the movement, of course. Knife. Knife's value is currently low, requiring players to attempt backstabs most of the time, offering higher risk than reward. Those changes should truly highlight Knife as highly specialized weapon with small reach and high risk high reward philosophy, while improving its general value. When charging an alt attack, you can sprint now but with 30% lower speed increase. Increase basic attack damage from 60 to 70 and alt attack body damage to 90. Add a passive property that decreases specialization and gadgets cooldown by 20%. Increase the backstab angle on the dagger's alt attack from 150 degrees to 165. Add a new special attack, when after charging an alt attack for 0.3 seconds and using a base attack before full charging alt attack, a hit will be performed, dealing 80 damage and slowing down enemy by 15% for 6 seconds. I know that those changes are very specific and quite new, but as Slopo said, melee weapons need abilities to close the range between the enemy and the player, and pretty much this is what I gave the knife with its passive ability, quality, also doing a twist with adding a special attack. As Slopo said, in order to create fun and skill-rich weapons, we need combos. And this is what I'm doing with special attack, and this is what you will see with other weapons, which I will talk about. Sword. Set of massive changes, supposed to make it into a pinnacle of movement again, without making it too frustrating. Decrease the attack duration from 0.6 seconds to 0.55. When performing constant basic attack, the second hit will deal 75% of the base damage, the third hit will deal 50% of the base damage, and other following hits will deal 25% of the base damage. In order to deal full damage, a break of 0.25 seconds has to be kept between attacks. Attack damage on hit will be signed by dispersion reticle, which on full damage hit will be in the closest possible position, like on model 1887 shotgun. Increase the alt attack duration to 1 second from 0.75 seconds. Increase the horizontal component of the alt attack's rotation clamping from 40 degrees to 240 degrees. Remove the charged lunges timing buffer and replace the vertical rotation clamping component of the alt attack with the vertical lunge clamping component set to 45 degrees. Make every hit of alt attack done after a first one deal only 75 damage. Penalty resets after alt attack is finished and is activated again when performing next alt attack. Add a new special attack. When after charging an alt attack for 0.2 seconds and using a base attack before fully charging alt attack, Player will perform small lunge backwards by a fast sweep of sword, lasting 0.3 seconds with range of 2.5 meters, dealing 74 damage to the enemies in front of the player. This lunge has horizontal component rotation clamping set to 120 degrees. Vanishing Bomb. Those changes are supposed to add a completely new twist to the game alongside new knives, special attack and new medium gadget, Firewall, which I will present later. Decrease the duration of Vanish Bomb on the player teammates to 6 seconds from 6.5. Add a new property applied by Vanishing Bomb. Increased speed for player and their teammates affected by Vanishing Bomb by 15% independently from invisibility effect. If player or their teammates is affected by knife, special attack, or firewall gadget, usage of Vanish Bomb eliminates the speed debuff instead of amplifying the speed of player or their teammates. If player or their teammates are affected by Vanishing Bomb, usage of knife, special attack, or firewall gadget eliminates the speed debuff instead of decreasing the speed of player or their teammates. So basically, I wanted to add a new layer to the gameplay by reintroducing a speed buff or debuff that was taken away from us with a death of the taser. Also pushing players to be more communicative with their loadouts, creating combos or synergies between different gadgets. Tracking Dart. Another twist turning Tracking Dart into much more interesting tool and more viable for melee players. Increase the dart damage to 10 from 5. During this detection effect, the built-in player's healing is rendered inactive and turns on starting to regenerate player's health instantly 1 second after detection effect ends. Increased tracking duration on targets to 15 seconds from 13 seconds. H+ Infuser. In current state, H+ Infuser overshadows Heal Beam, being one of the reasons for Medium's identity crisis. To highlight Heal Beam as supreme support choice, in exchange making Infuser easier to use, I propose such changes. Decrease healing per shot to 6 HP from 14. Decrease the fire rate to 770 RPM from 800. Increase the magazine size to 40 from 20. Change the shot's characteristic from hit scan to fast projectile similar to the Chimera XP bolts. Gateway. Gateway took the place of Medium's jump pad or zipline, being one of the first causes of its identity crisis. Those changes are supposed to turn Gateway into a rotation tool, making a jump pad and zipline supreme travel choices. Decrease max range from 50 meters to 35 meters. Decrease the loudness of throwing, placing, and teleporting sound by 50%. Now, it's time for the Medium. Those changes should refine Medium archetype and highlight its supportive role. Guardian Turret. Guardian Turret is known for being very unreliable, but it doesn't have to be. Thanks to those changes and the new Medium's gadget, it should become a respected tool. Increase the turret size slightly. Increase the fire rate to 450 RPM from 400 RPM. Decrease setup time to 1.5 seconds from 3.5 seconds. Increase the turret's health to 300 from 280 HP. Now, when Goo is shot at Guardian Turret, it breaks like on the player. Now, when Guardian Turret scans the surrounding and 100 degrees of its vision cone is blocked by enemies Goo from distance up to 2 meters, it starts shooting it to clear its scanning area. Dual Blades. Slopo rightfully noticed that dual blades are more of a bullet wall, I would even say more reliable than Riot Shield, and with little identity they are supposed to have. Those changes are supposed to establish them as a fast weapon, enabling new movement opportunities, and make Deflect more balanced, skillful ability. Increase the damage of first attack from attack sequence to 2x 55 from 2x 50. Increase Dual Blade's launch trigger range by 0.5 meter. Directly deflected bullets now have perfect accuracy. Increase damage modifier for directly deflected bullets from 0.1 to 0.15. Increase the Dual Blade's direct deflection cone by 10 degrees. Make glancingly deflected bullets less accurate. Melee attacks now can't be deflected. Deflected bullets deal 90% of their body damage instead of 100. Make bullets deflection create recoil with a shaky pattern, mostly pulling players both vertically and slightly horizontally, which direction depends on the angle from which the player is being shot. The recoil pattern difficulty level is in between the V9S and LH1 weapons. Depending on how much damage the deflected bullet could deal, the recoil amplifies. Recoil starts to become amplified by bullets that would deal at least 30 damage, reaching higher amplification for every more 15 damage points, amplifying recoil by 5%. For example, bullet that would deal 30 damage has recoil amplified by 5%, and bullet that would deal 45 damage has recoil amplified by 10%. Add a new special attack. If player uses base attack while holding a deflecting position, dual blades perform an instant third attack from the attack sequence, dealing the same amount of damage and performing backward lunge reaching 3.5 meters. When player hits an object or an enemy at the start of performing the special attack, instead of backward lunge, backward jump is performed, reaching 5 meters backward and 1.5 meter upward. Between special attacks, 6-second cooldown is present. Riot Shield. Riot Shield is very often underwhelming or overwhelming. Those changes are supposed to turn it into almost impenetrable fortress, taking a role of positioning and scaring tool. Decrease base attack damage to 85 from 90. Extend the Riot Shield model and hitbox to cover player's feet when in defensive stance. Introduce an angle to how Riot Shield is held on the side, uncovering slightly player's head and bigger bit of player's feet, allowing enemies to shoot player from the side. Reduce the defensive stance speed penalty from 50% to 45%. Riot Shield fully blocks melee weapons now, in return for being pushed 1 meter back when hit, with a cooldown of a second between pushes. Now, shooting a Riot Shield in defensive stance makes it shake, obscuring the player's view. Now, when shooting a Riot Shield in its defensive stance, its speed penalty increases to 60% from a moment of the shot hitting the shield. Introduce new mechanic. When shots dealing above 85 damage hits Riot Shield, it recoils to the side no matter if held on the side or in defensive stance, revealing half of the player's body, forcing them to turn slightly around in order to cover themselves while the Riot Shield is returned to its full base position. Whole interaction lasts 1 second. For the time of shield being thrown to the side after being in defensive stance, the speed penalty is increased to 60%. Introduce new mechanic. When explosion hits Riot Shield, it tanks the damage, but heavily recoils to the side no matter if held on the side or in defensive stance, revealing 75% of the player's body, forcing them to turn significantly around in order to cover themselves while Riot Shield is returned to its full base position. Whole interaction lasts 1.5 seconds. For the time of shield being thrown to the side after being in defensive stance, speed penalty is increased to 60%. When Riot Shield is thrown to the side by explosion or high damage shot while being in defensive stance, player cannot stop the defensive stance until it returns to full base position without ability to cancel the animation. Add a new special attack. If player uses base attack while in defensive stance, player performs a small 0.5 meter jump forward with their shield continuously held in front, and if hitting someone, dealing 60 damage and pushing the enemy forward quite 1.5 meter away. Between special attacks, 1.5 second cooldown is present. My inspiration for this rework were the shields from the Rainbow Six Siege game. If you would like to see how the shield would perform with those changes, you can look up how the shields in this game work to get an idea. Zipline. In order to make zipline more valuable and competitive to jump pad, I propose 2 simple changes. Increase the possible zipline length to 65 meters from 40, and in general for all ziplines, increase the zipping speed by 33%. Hoverpad. Hoverpad in its current state holds little value. Those changes should make it much more versatile. In order to give Hoverpad more use, introduce a small rework. Now, clicking M2 introduces ability to place hoverpad 40 meters away from the player, allowing it to create high grounds with zipline. In order to manipulate the distance at which hoverpad is placed, hold the right click and use your scroll wheel, and in order to place it, release the right click. APS turret. Sometimes APS turret doesn't prevent surfaces from being broken by explosions, making me propose this small tweak. Increase the APS turret radius to 4.5 meters from 3 meters. Bridge drill. Another small change that should breathe new life into bridge drill, which special quality is often insignificant. Decrease activation sequence duration to 2.2 seconds from 2.5 seconds. Move the flash effect application from the end of the bridging sequence to the 0.35th second of the activation sequence. Data Reshaper. Even after buffs, Data Reshaper is not completely appealing, being possibly unforgiving while being too overwhelming for enemies. This should be solved by those changes, giving players space to experiment while keeping it in check. Increase ammo count to 3 from 2. Decrease range from 21 meters to 12 meters. Decrease target FOV to 9 degrees from 12 degrees. New medium gadget idea, Firewall. Serving as a new tool for melee players and not only, I would like to introduce Firewall, giving some more counterplay for traps and Data Reshaper, while not rendering them useless and highlighting medium as a support class. Cooldown 25 seconds. Ammo count 1. Range 6 meters. Firewall can be applied to the player themselves, their teammates, and their gadgets or specializations. When applied to players, they don't trigger any traps, sensors, or mines, and are immune to the glitch effect, and are slowed by 15% for 15 seconds. When applied to gadgets or specializations, they are immune to glitch effect and Data Reshaper until destroyed. Players and gadgets or specializations with Firewall applied have effect appear around them constantly until the end of Firewall, consisting of small translucent bars with a color of the team and producing quiet sound cue. And finally, last but not least, Heavy. Gogan. Recent changes to the Gogan are very disliked by the community, while keeping Gogan frustrating to play against and very simple to use. Those changes should help with that. Increase the time it takes for Gu to break when overlapping a player from 0.35 seconds to 0.5 seconds. Decrease the fire rate from 230 RPM to 200 RPM. Decrease the ammo count to 15 from 20. Because of Gu blocking effectiveness, it should have been nerfed, but not this much, and this is where the change comes from. Especially that the problem does not lay in the Gu blocking itself, but rather the Gu gun, as I said, giving players ability to Gu block constantly. Spear. I think that Spear is perfect as simple melee weapon, being capable of being fun and viable, but should be more user-friendly and slightly buffed. Those changes address that. Make alt attack sequence based, dividing all spins into a single attack per one input and creating attack combo. Increase alt attack damage to 115 from 105. Decrease player's speed penalty when performing alt attack by 15%. Remove the first attack from the base attack sequence. Reduce the damage of the first attack in the sequence to 73 from 80, and of the second attack from the sequence to 76 from 90. Increase base attack's range by 1 meter. Move the point by which spear is held in hands more to the back to adjust the animation to the new spear range and give players better idea of the base attack reach. Add a slight weapon model stretching while performing base attacks to give players better idea of the spear attack's reach. Add a new special attack. If player uses base attack at the end of the alt attack spin, 3 continuous fast spins are performed, giving player 30% greater speed penalty than alt attack, lasting 1.75 seconds, dealing 65 damage and pushing enemies in the direction from which spin hitted them, disturbing their movement. Sledgehammer. It is time to turn Sledgehammer into powerhouse it's supposed to be by making it more reliable and destructive. Make the base attack environmental damage equal to alt attack's environmental damage. Increase the alt attack's distraction area by around 0.75 meter horizontally and vertically. Increase the base attack duration by 0.1 second. Decrease the alt attack duration by 0.1 second. Now, when player is aimed at the enemy when doing a base attack at the moment of performing hit, a quick step forward is made to help player efficiently reach the enemy. Add a new special attack. If player uses base attack while doing alt attack before performing the hit, player performs a fast dash with sledgehammer 2 meters forward, destroying walls in front of them and dealing 150 damage to enemies they dash into. The attack doesn't push enemies, only deals damage to them. Just like Slowpo, I have very low hopes for this video, but it didn't stop me from making it, because my love for this game and enjoyment I have from doing anything related to it is greater than my fear. I truly love this game. I have spent great amount of my money on it to show my support, playing whenever I can and having fun with each match, and I'm not gonna stand on the side like nothing happens. Because in the end, who knows? Maybe the fact that so many players rise with their love for this game will make change come true. No matter who is responsible, Embark or Nexon, for many bad decisions we face now. If you stayed until the end, I'm truly thankful. I tried my best making this video. Cheers, folks.
This game show event is throwing us a curveball with a classic alien assault. Let's see how our contestants adapt.
appeared in the arena. Watch out there!
Taking them.
Turbulence troubles for the jet setters once more. Team wipe.
The competition told them to go faster.
Using a flashbang. Jump pad deployed.
Push for cash out A!
The tough shells are back in play.